Hello and welcome. My name is Gerhan Adib Ilyasa. Once a year, something has happened on the north coast of central Java that looks from above, like the entire country tilting toward home. I'm talking about Idul Fitri in Indonesia. We call it Lebaran, and today I want to show you what it actually looks and feels like in my corner of Java, the towns of Batam, Pekalongan, Pemalang, and Tegal, along what we call the Pantura, the North Coast Road. This isn't just a religious holiday, it's really a reunion of millions of people, a test of patience on the highway, and one of the most emotionally loaded days of the entire Indonesian calendar. Let me take you through it. Idul Fitr marks the end of Ramadan, the Islamic month of fasting, and it's celebrated by Muslims worldwide. But the way it's practiced along Java North Coast carries a distinctly local flavor, shaped by this region's identity as historic trading corridor. Islam arrived on this coast centuries ago, carried in large part by traders, Arab, Indian, and Chinese Muslim merchants moving through the some ports that later shaped this region's famous batik industry. Because this was always a commercial, a mobile region, a huge number of people from Batang, Pekalongan, Pemalang, and Tegal left over the generation to work in Jakarta and other big cities. Which means it here isn't just a religious event, it's the region's most important homecoming. This homecoming has an actual name, Mudik. Every year, in the days before it, an enormous wave of people leaves the cities and floats back into the Pantura highway, back to their home villages. Pekalongan and Tegal in particular sit right on this route, and around it their population visibly swell as sons, daughters, and grandchildren return. The morning of Eid itself following a family rhythm across Indonesia, a dawn communal prayer, usually held outdoors in open field or town square because the crowds are too large for any single mosque. Afterward comes a tradition called sungkeman, younger family members kneeling before parents and elders, asking forgiveness for the past year mistakes. Then the visiting begins, house to house, neighbor to neighbor, sometimes for days. So, what values lie inside this holiday? First, forgiveness as an active practice, not just a feeling. The phrase you'll hear everywhere is "Mohon maaf lahir dan batin." Roughly, I ask forgiveness, outwardly and inwardly. It's said face to face to specific people, not as a fake gesture. Grudges are meant to be actually cleared out loud once a year, whether or not you feel entirely ready to let them go. Second, hierarchy expresses through humility. In Sungkeman, it's usually the younger generation who kneels first, before parents and grandparents. This isn't about inequality, it's a structured way of honoring where you came from, literally lowering yourself before the people who raised you. Third, the pull of home over the pull of the city. Mudik is inconvenient. Traffic can stretch for many hours. Tickets are expensive and roads get dangerously crowded. People do it anyway, year after year. That says something about how strongly home, extended family, and origin communities are valued here, even after someone has built a whole new life in Jakarta or beyond. 4. Generosity as celebration. Open house visiting, sharing food with anyone who walks through the door, and giving small gifts of money to children, called THR, or sometimes just Lebaran money, all reflect a value that celebration isn't complete until it's shared outward, especially with those who have less. Now, let's talk about where visitors or people unfamiliar with Indonesian Islam often misread this holiday. One misunderstanding is thinking Eid is a single day event, like a public holiday abroad. In reality, along this coast, Eid is closer to a 2-week social season. The government usually declares an extended mudik travel period, and open house visiting can continue for a week or more after the holiday itself. Judging it by a one-day calendar entry massively undersells it. Another misunderstanding is thinking Ramadan fasting is only about food. Outsiders sometimes reduce Ramadan and eat to the month Muslims don't eat, followed by the day they eat again. That's skip the actual point. The fasting month is about spiritual discipline and self-restraint, and it is the release of that discipline, celebrated through forgiveness and community, not just through food. The food is certainly part of it. A third misunderstanding is assuming it's the same everywhere in the Muslim world. Practice like mudik on this specific scale, sungkeman, and giving their money are strongly Indonesian. In some cases, specifically Japanese, custom layered atop of the universal Islamic holiday. A visitors who seen it celebrated elsewhere might not recognize this local edition at all. To make it more relatable, let me compare it with something recognizable from another part of the world. Thanksgiving and the associated American holiday travel rush that people jokingly call Turkey Day traffic, both centered on an enormous, almost involuntary migration back to family. Both involve a specific communal meal or set of foods tied closely to the holiday's identity, and in both cases, the travel itself has become a cultural event of its own. People complain about it every single year, and yet almost everyone still makes the trip. But the deeper values diverge. American Thanksgiving is fundamentally a gratitude holiday, giving thanks for the harvest, for the year, for what one has. It and Mudik specifically is built more around forgiveness and spiritual renewal. It isn't just thank you for this year, it's closer to let's actually clear the slate before the next one begins. Thanksgivings look backward with gratitude. It looks both backward with apology and forward with a kind of reset. I find that distinction meaningful. Both holidays reveal what a culture considers worth traveling hundreds of kilometers for. And in Java case, the answer is reconciliation, not just reunion. Here's why this matters to me personally. I've sat in that Pantura traffic, hours barely moving, the air thick with motorbike and exhaust. Everyone exhausted and still, when the car finally turns onto a familiar street and you see your grandmother's house, none of that traffic seemed to have mattered at all. There's something almost irrational about it, and I think that irrationally is exactly the point. What struck me most is sungkeman, the moment of kneeling and asking forgiveness. It's uncomfortable in the best way. It forces you to say out loud what you might otherwise like quietly wrote for another year. I'm sorry, I ask forgiveness. I don't think many modern calendars build in a mandatory communal moment for that. Our does, once a year whether we feel emotionally ready or not. I share this because I think it's easy from the outside to see it as simply the big Muslim holiday, a line on a calendar. But for those who ask from this cause, this the one granted most each year when scattered families and scattered relationships are pulled back together by something stronger than convenience that worth understanding whether your own background or beliefs happens to be. So, the next time you hear about millions of people joining Indonesian highway before a holiday, I hope you see, past the traffic jam headlines, somewhere in that slow-moving river of motorbikes and buses is someone heading home to kneel in front of their mother, say they're sorry, and start the year clean. Alright, I think that's enough for today. Thank you for watching.